All right,
Now,
so I think we're ready to rock and roll, huh?
let's do it, man.
All right.
Hey, it's a blessing to have Adrian on our show, and
Thank you.
welcome. I wanted to welcome you on Sports Talk and the Success Table, and
Okay.
get it all started with how did you get involved with football as a kid?
Well, as a kid, my hero or the guy that I looked up to was a guy by the name of Tony Dorsett. I was a big Cowboy fan. My dad, everybody on our street were Cowboy fans, and Tony Dorsett, he just had these, he was just a swift runner. And that really got me the bug that I want to play running back, and kind of emulate what he did in terms of his moves and stuff like that, or being able to break away. To be honest, yeah.
Definitely. Hey, that influenced your decision to play for him later on down the road, right?
But at that time, it's a job, But I mean, I was totally honored to have that, to wear that star on the helmet. I didn't really appreciate it until after I really was there. I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
wow, now I see what this is all about. So it was pretty cool to play for that team.
Definitely, definitely. Some of
Yeah.
your role models as a kid, besides Mr. Dorsett, your sports role models, who were they besides him?
Well, my sports role model started from my dad. My dad was our first coach, me and my brother. We had some really good people around, like Coach Pinkett, Coach Johnny. Um, they were role models in teaching me how to play the game at in the way that we played it then was, it was a little bit more. I mean, I guess it was still the same methodology, but it was just a little bit more how you pull together as a unit, perseverance, all those things that kind of molds you as a younger player or even a young human being. I was able to take those lessons and kind of apply them, after in transition. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. So later on down your football journey, the transition from college to the pros, the NFL level, how did the NFL welcome you? What moment was it?
Well, I was welcome when they drafted me to the New York Jets, right? And once I got there, one of the biggest uh, things that a young player has to learn that this is a job now, right? Um, and the game is played at a much faster pace. Um, you get thrown a lot of information at you, and you got to just continue to move through that information and pick it up as you go. So, um, yeah, so that was kind of like the transition was really adapting to the speed, looking up to some of your heroes, meaning my heroes, growing up, like guys like Ronnie Lott. I didn't really, Boomer Esiason was a guy that I saw play, but, he was very consummate professional, and then we got Leonard Marshall. I mean, we just had some really pretty neat guys. I was on that team that were successful at other teams and came to the Jets towards the end of their career when I was a rookie, and it was very it molded me in terms of professionalism.
For sure. Going into that building with the Jets, what was the expectations like? I know playing
Well,
in the Big Apple, there's high expectations, but
well,
what were those expectations on you as a player?
well, I came in. I was a fifth round pick. I thought I was going to go a little bit earlier than that, but not. So I was always confident. And then even though some of the coaches there, when I came into camp, they were saying, "Hey, this is somebody that, he's going to be something." So that was confidence booster for me. But really, um, what I went there to expect was to get an opportunity, and I felt like I had the tools to get there and be successful. And thankfully, there was some good times there as well.
Definitely. So going from several different teams, what were some of the lessons that you learned your first year that you took to other squads?
Well, when I requested a trade, I don't really want to call it demand, but I requested a trade when they brought Curtis Martin in. Bill Parcells was going to leave us in there or leave me within that group for a year. and I just said, I feel like we can get, use some picks. And we was able to achieve that with the Arizona Cardinals, the Cards. What I took to them was some discipline that, that I actually kind of learned the year prior with Parcells, which we didn't, and we had a little bit of that with Pete Carroll, but it was a total different philosophy in terms of how you think, how you prepare yourself. He was a little bit before his time at that point in time. But, I went there as a 1,000-yard rusher. I went there with, hey, I can straighten out this run game. And quite frankly, that team that was assembled, we ended up going to the playoffs that year. The Cardinals hadn't gone there in, I don't know, 10, 15 years or however long it was, I forget. We beat the Cowboys in Dallas. It was a really good year for us, but that's what I took to definitely to that team there. I'm still a player that that was looked upon as being the starter and can lead the team, and not more of a role position, but this is your position. So I went there with the confidence that I can do it, done it, got over 1,000 yards that year, which was a challenging year for, because I've been there with, I don't want to, we just needed to have more time to gel as a unit, guys up front, developing their attitude, developing what our style of play was, and we was trying to identify that. So I felt pretty good about that.
Definitely. So when you hung your pads up for the last time, and you said, I'm done, I'm retiring, the trials and tribulations of football, how have you applied those things to your personal life?
Yeah, well, personal life, when I decided that I was done playing football, which everyone, is really not this. You don't actually decide it.
Definitely.
For the most part, they're deciding it for you, right? But when that day actually kind of came, and you can look at tape and like, hey man, I didn't hit the hole, or you can see the slowing or the age, father time as we call it. You can see it. You can see it as subtle as it may be. You see it. So what I ended up doing was buying a company, and what we did was sold commodities for cooling towers and boiler systems. So it was an existing firm, had about 20 employees, and the thing that through that transition, really what you have to learn is in that sector of people working, you can't. It's not like, it's a lot of gray in the business world. It's not black or white. The world that I came from, like, did you get the job done or not? So it's not, oh, well, so that was really some lessons learning that they don't have, it wasn't for me as easy to get them to see my vision. So it took a little bit more about how can I motivate them and to understand what I'm trying to accomplish,
Definitely. So my next couple questions are current day NFL topics about your New York Football Jets. With the Jets, the Jets, how do you think they have molded Zach Wilson to be successful for the Jets going forward?
Well, I don't really, I actually don't know. I don't know how they're molding him, but because he was in and out of the lineup. He's been injured. He's a smaller or shorter quarterback, but he's shown flashes, right? I think what they've got to do is really find what their identity is going to be. I forget the coach's head name. I'm slipping my mind right now, but he comes from San Francisco 49ers. They've got a spread offense, but they run the ball. And I think in ways the league has devalued the position of running back because they want to say it's by committee, but at the end of the year and come times during playoffs, they really are looking for more of a balanced offense. And how you get a balanced offense is through play action, runs, and things of that nature. So I can't see what the identity of the Jets is going to be at this point in time. So we'll see.
For sure. You think a solid running back will affect his – of course it'll affect his play on the field like you said, play action. But who on the market could they go out and get in free agency?
Well, like I was saying before, they really devalued the position. If a guy is hitting the free agent market, he's probably got to be around 25, 26. Anything after that, they're looking at him as a fill-in guy, committee kind of guy. And I think they try to find their talent through the draft now. And then there's some guys that make, through the free agent market can get themselves established. But I actually don't know. I mean, that's really a good question, because I've really been contemplating that and, taking a look at, what happened to the running back position? Why did they devalue it so to the point where they feel like you can just plug and play any guy? And then in actuality, that, it worked at some levels, but it actually don't work long term. Excuse me.
Sure. You're fine.
Okay. Sorry about that.
You're fine, man. Yeah, with the pick with Zach Wilson from BYU, they're kind of reverting back to Sam Darnold with no offensive line. I don't understand the.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of scratching my head too with what is the top priority. They had Sam Darnold. And Sam has shown some inadequacies at the quarterback position, but I actually really feel like you actually trying to bolster the upfront folks that's protecting him, because if you look at his drops, I'm just looking from a stat standpoint. I mean, he's got to get the ball out within 1.3. I mean, it's he can't go back there and make any reads. So that's what I'm saying. I can't really make a true assessment of his ability if he's running out, rolling out. There's no run support. And I actually don't know who the receiving core is. So, you know what I'm saying? A little different,
Yeah, they just throwing anybody in there, man.
Right.
Yeah, with my next question for you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
My next question, do you think the Jets made a bad decision trading away Jamal Adams to Seattle?
Well, those guys are transformational guys. That guy, he speaks to not only the defensive room, but he speaks to the team with his play, and it's infectious. And he was wanting to win, and he became vocal about it. And he didn't like some of in which the direction of the team was going. So his value was high enough, and he made enough noise that he wanted out, and he was able to get a deal that was suitable for the Jets, get him out their conference or get him out the AFC East, send him across West, and look what's happening for him, right?
Definitely. But with that little transition, his play is kind of decreased with the Seattle Seahawks. He's not making the same noise.
Well, he was, but I mean, you got to look at the Seahawks, and it's not, there's a lot more than just Jamal Adams over there. That is that I would say up and down. And sometimes you got to remember, this is the beauty about football too, right? You got to have 11 guys pulling in the same direction. If you got each Monday when you go in there and look at the tape from the previous game, you can actually see where the plays broke down, who blew an assignment, or who just flat out got beat. You know what I mean? But you can actually see where some of those breakdowns are occurring. That's why film study is so important. But you can't take away his energy, love for the game. And he's a guy that plays in the box. He's a guy that's going to make sacks. He's a guy that's going to blow up plays, and so he's sometimes at that type of player, it's high risk, high reward too. But Pete Carroll's a defensive guru. It's more than Jamal Adams that they needed over there. So
definitely, I think Jamal and Bobby Wagner are their faces on their defense now. So
right.
Bobby's getting up there in age.
Right. So I mean, so we're talking about Bobby. So who's up front though? Who's the front three or front four? I don't know if they're playing a 4-3 or a 3-4. I don't know them anymore.
They got rid of Clowney. I think they should have kept him, to be honest.
Yeah, they need. I mean, well, exactly. They don't have a pass rush that's threatening. You know what I mean? Like every play you go, that quarterback goes back there. He's got to get it out, or if he doesn't get it out in a certain time, he's going to get hit. You know, put on the tape for the Rams, Los Angeles Rams. They play with such high energy, their front seven, that that ball's coming out now. They have lost some games, but their defensive effort is pretty impressive.
Definitely.
Timely sacks, and they still lose the game. So we'll see. If playoffs are going to be exciting, I think.
Hey, who's your pick? This is my last question. Who's your pick to go to the Super Bowl?
I got KC and I got the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to surprise people.
Really? You believe in Dak Prescott?
I think that the Buccaneers are pretty banged up. I think that Aaron has some playoff yips. He's got 8 interceptions to 9 touchdowns. I mean, that's almost 50-50. So he made decisions, like not to run it in the last. It was. I don't know. I think that he's, there's something there mentally with him. That he maybe press a little bit more in the playoffs, but something's there. So I like Cowboys. If the Cowboys can continue to run with Zeke and get Pollard moving, again, I like the run, and I think Dak does really well with his play action and run game going well. That's where he shines the best. So this league is heavily quarterback league now. There's certain teams that feel like they're going to win and die with the throw, and, see how that happens. But, generally when you look at the teams that win, they got a balanced attack offensively, and they're playing very sound defense, and they got some in the plus takeaway game, they're up, they're on the plus side. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you never know about KC.
They're banged up too, but I like Magic Mahomes though, man. Goodness, I mean, you watching some of those throws, and then you've got Gore, you've got Williams running the ball, and they're running downhill. Offensive linemen like to go 4, right? If you're a team that is heavily pass dominant, say like the Bills, your Bills, I mean, they just haven't established their run game, So they basically live off the run from Josh Allen, but those are that doesn't how can I state this? I say he's not affecting the game like say a Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson or someone, they can get when they go, right? He's making plays, but it doesn't equate to sustainability in the run game or giving them a balance. It's that they're going to throw it. They're going to throw it with Lamar and them. You're going to get past, but they're going to run it too, right? So they can't just play two high safeties and pin their ears back with their 7 and then play coverage.
Definitely. For KC, they have to find a valuable third option besides Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. That third one option's up in the air.
Well, I do like pick. Oh gosh, what is it? I like Harmon. I give those some of those guys are getting chances though. So we'll see.
They picked up Josh Gordon too. I'm glad he got another opportunity.
Yeah, and he's been really quiet with no anything that will cause pause because he had obviously a few issues back a few years back, and offense is all timing. Now he's getting reps. Mahomes looks like he's getting more comfortable with him because he dialed him up, had a couple targets. So we'll see.
Definitely. Well, Adrian, it's been a blessing to have you on our show, and
I'm glad we finally connected, my friend.
Blessings, my guy.
All right, you too, man.
Take
We'll
care and
see you
God
in the
bless.
future.
Hey,
All right.
before you go, where can my audience find you?
So you can find me at what's my Adrian Murrell 2929 on Instagram. You can find me with the NFL Alumni Carolinas chapter. We've got this really special event that's coming up on the 24th. It's for ALS. This is our third annual event at Top Golf here in the Carolinas or Charlotte area. And then we've got another one on March 7th, Drive Shack in Raleigh. So yeah, if I can send you that link, can you
Let's do it.
let everyone know, man? We still need some folks to come out. We've got some pretty cool guys that's going to be supporting it. So yeah, it'll be a fun night.
Hey, I'm in Charlotte too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not
Let's
bad,
get
man.
it.
Cool.
Let's get it.
So I'm gonna send you the link, via Instagram, and if you can post it, let me know, like, and tag ALS too, so that that they can see it.
Perfect,
Okay.
my guy. Hey, when is it again?
March, Alumni Carolinas chapter. We've got this really special event that's coming up on the 24th. It's for ALS. This is our third annual event at Top Golf